Hi, it's Kevin Lobates here, and today I thought I'd have a shot at answering a question I've been asked several times in several different forms, which basically boils down to which is the one true Bitcoin, or in one case, which is the one true Ethereum. As many of you will know, there are some very popular variants of Bitcoin out there, Bitcoin Core being the leader, then there's Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin Gold, and a whole bunch of other clones and forks. And similarly, Ethereum had a split a while back where it split into Ethereum Classic and Ethereum sort of Mainstream. I think Ethereum Mainstream has about 80% of the mining support, and Classic has about 20%. Anyway, I can't give a definitive answer. What I can do is introduce you to a paradox that is known by various names. On Wikipedia you can find it under the paradox of the ship of Theseus. I personally prefer, given that I live in Finland, a variant called the lumberjack's axe. So in that paradox, a lumberjack proudly holds up an axe and says, this is a family heirloom. It was handed down from my grandfather to my father to me, and we use it every day. So we've had to replace the head 4 times and the shaft a total of 12 times. And then the question is the axe that the man is holding still the family heirloom? And as an addendum to that paradox, what if the man's grandmother had secretly saved the first head and the first shaft and fixed it? Would that actually be the true heirloom? So I think you can see from that there's no clear answer. Now, a whole bunch of philosophers over the ages have tackled this problem. For example, Aristotle wrestled with it. Kant and Hegel have a whole bunch of essays tackling this very problem, and even modern day philosophers have looked at it. So you can come up with all sorts of answers. One I like is that actually this gut feeling we have that the rule of transitivity holds is not actually true, that just because A equals B and B equals C, it does not necessarily follow that A equals C. You can take a utilitarian approach and say, I don't really care what it's called, it's what I want to use it for that matters to me. You can take a social grouping answer to it and say, well, if I'm in a group of people and we decide that this is what we consider to be the real Bitcoin, then for all intents and purposes, that's what it is. And there's also all sorts of like social relativist approaches you can take, that, you know, there's nothing extrinsic out there that determines whether or not something is the one true Bitcoin. It's all in your mind, and these are words that we use to label things to be able to communicate, and as long as we're communicating on the same wavelength, it doesn't really matter what label or words we're using. Anyway, sorry, as is usually the case with the philosophical question, I can't give you a definitive answer, but perhaps I've given you some food for thought, and maybe you'll sleep a bit easier tonight because of it, or probably not. Anyway, hope that was entertaining, and I hope to see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.